Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forth. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And again, I want to welcome you to this edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. On this channel, we channel inspirational messages and information from ascended masters and other beings on other dimensions and realms. Practical information that we need to use here that humanity needs right now. And there is so much information being downloaded to human collective consciousness right now. And you're seeing the effects of it in these massive transitions in global affairs. But today I have with me this group called the Divine Collective, and they're one of my favorite groups to be working with. And they want to talk about the power of youth. When I asked them about the power of youth, they said it has nothing to do with the biological age of an individual. It has to do with the vitality of their ability to utilize energy in the function of creation. That is, they have the ability, those who are youthful and vital, have an ability to utilize thought and emotion in such a creative fashion that there is no restriction in their causes and effects. They can create things, cause effects very rapidly without restrictions. In your conventional education systems, there is a great restriction placed on the ability of an individual to cultivate his or her mental and emotional evolution over matter. Much of what you see today is the restricted programming of individuals to be constrained into a set realm of beliefs with little or no understanding of what it is they're being told to understand, simply being governed or corralled into a realm of expression that diminishes the ability for them to be expressing life freely and creatively. If you understand that youth is an energy, it is not an age or a form of biology, although biology may loan itself to a certain period of time which one can creatively express themselves in a physical dimension. For the sake of this communication, the power of youth is your ability to utilize emotional energy without restriction or inhibition in how you're going to apply them, so long as these emotions are governed by specific ideas and thoughts. And there are very few, if any, emotions that aren't governed by specific thoughts or ideas. But in the context of youth, you would be very clear about the ideas and information you would be applying to emotion, as what ideas and information you apply to emotion generates very precise and specific actions in this physical dimension. All emotion structures physical actions. This is an inescapable truth. All emotion generates physical actions. And you can deem emotion as the immortal fountain of youth, for it is an endless potential of energy that exists for anyone to utilize, to access, to use, to manifest with. It is important you understand this. If you are able to harness and use emotional energy clearly and intentionally, then the manifestation process becomes a matter and an act of will as opposed to an act of chance. Creation then is an issue of choice from the perspective of emotional energy, unrestricted. Again, we are not speaking about emotions that are not governed, merely saying that the source of emotion is unrestricted. In other words, you have unlimited access to this energy. And through your reason, you have the ability to utilize that energy intelligently and constructively rather than destructively. Now you see playing out on the planet today these polarities of good and evil. And both of these polarities use the exact same energy. They use this endless, immortal flow of energy that you call in that embodiment emotion. But both good and evil use the same substance to create very different results. Now, the power and understanding your ability to utilize emotion in specific constructions of thought and image will allow you to know precisely what it is you're going to manufacture in your experience. What you hold in your mind as an image or as a thought will structure emotion to express in very precise and specific ways through your physiology. This is very simple to understand. There is not one human function that does not have an emotion running through it. Not one thought, not one word, not one action, not one outcome that does not have an emotion behind it. They all have emotions behind them. And the nature and quality of a thought determines the nature and quality of an emotional expression that will go through the expressing medium of your body. Your body is the medium through which emotion causes effects in this condition of time, space, and matter. One who is 3 years old will use emotional energy very differently than one who is 15 years old, or 30 years old, or 60 years old, or 100 years old. The usages of energy change according to the information, imagination, and structure of information in the person's consciousness. Most of you are conditioned by your environmental inputs to formulate very specific beliefs. Very few of you are learning to function independent of what you are being told. But every one of you have that ability to function independent of what you've been taught to think, feel, or believe is true. In that process of recognition, you can alter and change what you think, feel, and believe and create very different outcomes in the conditions of your life than others of the same upbringing or conditions of learning. Put quite simply, if you are able to alter thought, image, you will change the manifestation of emotion. And most of you are finding yourselves being bombarded with thoughts, images, and emotions that are not actually of your choosing, but which are offered to you as fodder for you to simply digest without question. Much of what you see in your mass media mechanisms, which were originally manifested as mechanisms for elevating your collective unconsciousness, have served to do the opposite and filling the minds of millions and millions of individuals with informations and ideas that produce detrimental emotional expressions, whether you like them or not. The existing conditions and deterioration of mental health among the people of this planet is a direct effect of that, where information is being presented to you that has no reason, nor rhyme, nor goodness behind it. The idea that you can sit in front of a device and kill thousands of people is a good example. Simply teaching your mind and your body the imagery of death and destruction is not going to loan itself to the process of creating love, peace, and joy on your planetary system. And anything that would utilize energy for the sake of control and power is not a youthful energy. A youthful energy, the power of youth is that it promotes, it delights, it stimulates in vitality and excitement and playfulness and organization. The power of youth is that it is vital and vibrant in its expression. It promotes and cultivates the greater expression and development of life in all of its forms, recognizing that the very same substance of energy moving through the individual is moving through all other things simultaneously. Your ability to stay in alignment, in a position of free choice with emotional qualities that are uplifting and promote the well-being of life in all of its forms will loan itself to a much better experience of living in this physical dimension. But many of you believe, wrongly so, that the thoughts and emotions that you possess, that you somehow have absolutely no control over them. They are just there, but they were not there when you were born. They were placed there. And any obstacle in your mind that would seek to organize emotion in a form to cause you or others to suffer is death. Any emotions or thoughts that would cause one to suffer or inflict suffering on another is not youth, it is death. Youth is life. The power of youth is that it promotes, instills, and establishes the furthering of life, the greater development and healthier expression of the individual and the collective simultaneously. Any actions, thoughts, and emotions governed by those actions and thoughts that are of a negative nature are not of youth. They are of death. They are of suffering. They are of pain. And this exists primarily on the physical dimension, where life is prematurely ended by, we'll use the term stupidity, a lack of understanding of what your thoughts mean and how they organize your experiences. Very few of you understand that process, that thought organizes emotion into very precise expressions. And many of you aren't even aware of where you are getting your thoughts from. You have not questioned that. How many of you actually question, where do your thoughts come from? Where do they originate? Who gave them to you? And then be willing to question the nature of the thoughts that you currently possess, alter and change them so that they are more favorable, so that when you look inside your own mind, that you feel delight, you feel excitement, you feel refreshed, you feel revitalized by the nature of the thoughts and information that you possess. The position in consciousness that you have, that part of you that we call soul, what can be considered the spirit of universal light, that awareness that you are, that has the capacity to function independent of thought, matter, and emotion, and is able to orchestrate and utilize those three components of consciousness for the act of creation, are very important, that you understand that you are that component that has the ability to alter and change thought, image, and that organizes emotion. And in this realization, you move into the realm of responsible creation. Responsible creation extends, improves, and enhances life. It does not cause suffering. It does not cause suffering whatsoever. Now, please understand that you must awaken to the reality that you are awareness. You are not simply a mishmash of thoughts, memories, and future concerns. They may exist within the framework of your mental system, but they are not you. You are that consciousness that is able to assert a very precise and deliberate authority over thoughts, to be able to consciously and intelligently select and choose which thoughts are good for me, which thoughts are not good for me, for your thoughts will organize the energy you call emotion into the expressions that you execute through the manifestation process of your body. The actions of your body are the results of very precise thoughts and the emotions that those thoughts restructure. One can take an emotion that has been structured negatively and learn to alter and change it. From the perspective of awareness, you can do this. You can change emotion from one state to another. But coming to the understanding that you, from the perspective of utilizing thought and emotion deliberately and intentionally, not haphazardly, not simply being stimulated by something external to yourself and then compelled to act based on that stimulation, you are more than just an animal or a Pavlovian dog. You are a sentient being capable of utilizing thought, image, and stimulating new ideas to alter and change the conditions of your experience in this physical world. And that has its own challenges, but it is certainly more preferable learning to create and design your life as a matter of your free will than to simply accept the thoughts, the ideas, and informations that have been programmed into your mind by your five physical senses and the environment to make you into a particular individual that the environment would choose to have you be, rather than cultivating the unique expression that you came here to manifest as a matter of creation. Do not confuse the idea of youth with simply biology. Youth is the freedom to think, to imagine, to utilize energy in the act of creation deliberately and intentionally and independent of the influences of other agencies and systems. That you can understand and receive information and carefully examine the vibrational value and meaning of that information before you take it into your system. The idea of harming another human being is a vibrational energy that you would not want to take into your system. And yet, there are many of you sitting in front of games right now that are taking that energy into your system, that harming is a good thing. And it is not. It will lead to no good in that respect. Youth is understanding that you are free as a soul to alter and change thought, emotion, and image in your mind so as to effect a deliberate and intentional change in your experience of this physical world and what you will manifest as a participant in this experiment of creation. Good morning, everybody. I want to say, I've been told that we are going to be really, for the next 2.5 months, it's going to be really strong, intense energies coming onto the planet from the sun. The sun is literally going to be directing a lot of energy at the earth. And if you understand consciousness from the perspective of your own body versus the perspective of the earth or the perspective of the sun, you could get confused. But the truth is, these energies can elevate your consciousness or they can lower your consciousness. I encourage you to take up acts like grounding, eating properly, meditation, doing an inventory of your mind and creating good constructive thoughts, especially during this time with these new energies coming to the earth from the sun. And it's been almost 2,000 years since these energies have come at the earth in this fashion. It's very important that you prepare your mind and body to integrate these energies. This energy can only be used in one of two ways, positively or negatively. And you're seeing these big swings on the planet between good and evil, right and wrong, truths and lies. You're seeing this big swing because this energy that's coming in is affecting our biology, it's affecting our consciousness, it's affecting our awareness. And it can only be used in one of two ways, for good or for evil. It cannot be used for both. This energy can be used one way or the other. So if you're really working at elevating your consciousness and your mind up, do so in a positive way. Like really get your mind focused and clear on what is good and right for you to be and to do. Don't get caught up in other people's nonsense and garbage, because this energy can only go positive or negative. If you get caught up in negative energy, it's going to amplify. If you get caught up in positive energy, that's going to be amplified. And we're seeing that on the planet. And it's going to be intensifying significantly over the next couple of months. Energy organizes matter. Emotion organizes matter. Very important. And that you as an awareness have direct connection to it. I just want to put that out there because they've been saying that to me for the last couple of weeks now that we've got to get prepared for this. Hello, Dara. Good morning. Hi, Olena. Hi, Adam. Question from Adam for Archangel Metatron. What are the conditions needed for potential manifestation of an astral entity, and what factors hinders or completely disallows this process, and how? Why? What's funny you asked that question, because he's saying, for what reason would you wish to manifest an entity when it may not have any desire to do so? Why would you seek to want to manifest another entity? For what purpose? For what means? There must be reason, and it must be intelligent reason. That is like asking to give birth to a child without having any reason for wanting to raise a child. Simply the whim or wish of having such a thing is not sufficient enough reason to have it. You must understand very clearly what is your reasoning, what is your purpose, what is your motive for choosing to do such a thing, and what entity would you wish to invoke into existence without their permission in the first place? Would you demand that someone that you love do something against their will without their permission or consent? Would you expect them to do something for you without their consent? Please understand the nature of your question requires very careful consideration before such an answer is given to you with regard to that. Understand your reasoning for such a thing. The reason this one allows us to communicate through them is to elevate the collective consciousness of humanity. The collective unconsciousness needs to raise up in order to prevent certain effects from unfolding. Understand there must be a reason for this manifestation that you request. Wow. Question from Vertical. Which is the vitamin pill you recommend we all should take for optimum health? I wouldn't recommend a specific thing for you, but I would recommend this because I do this. Eat more vibrant living foods. Drink more good clean water. Get away from wheats and bread and dairy. Get away from anything, processed sugars. The best pill is the right stuff for your body. You don't need a pill. You need the right substances being put in the body. Stop putting the things in the body that do not serve it. Your life of that body can be extended significantly if you remove things like wheat and processed sugars. Anything that's going to cause acidity in the body is really important to get rid of that out of the system. I encourage you to check out Marcus Rothkrantz on his channel called The Healthy Life. It's one of our favorite channels, and you can find that on my YouTube. But check out Marcus Rothkrantz, The Healthy Life, and if you want some really good ideas for how to change your physical eating habits and a lot of your psychological habits, check his channel out. But I wouldn't recommend a pill. I understand. Question from SJK. Any guidance for me today? I don't know, but they're saying you just got to take it easy, girl. Like, put your feet up. You need to just tune out of everything. They're saying just, tune out of everything. Just go and be in peace within yourself, but really tune out from the human world, tune into the natural world. Let it all go. Put your mind at rest. Do this for at least a day. Like, really just tune all the other stuff out and like really get yourself into a place where you're like, that's what they're showing me is you need to do that. You need to really check out of everything and just dial into yourself, your own energy again. Wow. I thank you so much. Anything I should know today? I'm just first answer that comes to me is that if you've been hearing what you have heard, then you have heard what you need to know this day. There are other considerations you may wish to ponder, but we have offered what we can offer to you today. Question from Daniela. It is proven centenarians live longer because they routinely have a multitude of daily activities and socialize a lot. It is joy that makes them blossom. Is it joy that makes them blossom? Yes. It is letting life express through you, allowing energy to flow through you. Allow it to flow through you. These ones go out and they connect and they allow life to flow through them. And even these ones that you call centenarians can extend their life significantly if they understood the principle of life that flows through them. Some of them, in spite of their habits, have lived a long life because they do allow it to flow freely through them. If they loan themselves to changing certain things physically, they could extend their life 30, 40, even 50 years longer if you understand how to remove the restrictions in the mind that would slow that flow of consciousness down from keeping the body much younger longer. A question from Drusilla. What is the vibration I keep feeling at my temples? I'm being told that one of your guardian angels is telling you to look ahead, look straight ahead. Don't look to the side. This is almost like they used to put these They used to put these on horses to keep them focused so they wouldn't get distracted. So they're saying like you really need to focus straight ahead, look straight ahead. Don't get distracted side to side, but look straight ahead to where you're going. Keep going where you're aiming. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted at all. Thank you. Great questions, guys. Okay, so tomorrow on Saturday at 10 a.m., the meditation is going to be called, it's going to be by a celestial counterpart I know by the name of Ashton, and it's going to be on Restore Your Peace. Restore Your Peace. So I hope you'll join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Supernatural Saturday for this short meditation on restoring your peace. The Saturday's program, part of our program, is about taking the energies we've acquired from the three messages we've received and integrating those energies into a unique expression. In this case, it's to restore peace. Yeah, thank you. If you have any questions or concerns about anything you've heard today, please leave it in the comments section below. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturday on this channel to bring these messages through. And go check out some of the other videos that are on my channel. Messages from archangels, the ascended masters, Master Jesus, Buddha, my guardian angel John, Joan of Arc, many others. So explore. There's a wealth of information here that's been downloaded to us to receive, to utilize, to incorporate into our daily living. And I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out. Yes, thank you. Yeah, just a quick note. Thank you, Elena, for pointing that out. In about 3.5 weeks' time, we have our Mediumship 102 Masterclass beginning. And this is a very powerful program that will help you to transform, transmute, and transcend emotional and mental limitations that have been holding you back. And we have, it's just an amazing course. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out the details of our 102 Masterclass, which begins August the 15th. So get signed up for that. Come and change and alter your mind and your body to serve you more effectively in this world. You don't have to keep a lot of the emotions that are in your body. You can learn to let them go, transform them, transmute them, and emotion is what you use to create with. Anyway, I want to wish you all much love. Thank you for coming out today. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the meditation at 10 a.m. And have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. Bye for now.